Hello everyone, it's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fine. Thank you so much for joining me on this Sunday morning, guys. I hope everything is blessed with you guys. Of course, guys, before I start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to smash a like on the video. All that lovely jazz. You absolute legends. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, of course, guys. On this is joyous. I've got my coffee ready. It is a Costa coffee, guys. There are other delicacies available, but I've chosen a Costa coffee today. Got to get my caffeine up, guys. I was up until bloody, was it 2 a.m. last night watching was it 1 a.m.? 1 a.m. All right, I'll let you off an hour. At 1 a.m. I was up last night watching the AFCON, of course, which was a fantastic game between Egypt and the Ivory Coast, which ended 3-2 to Egypt. And Ahmad is coming home. He's coming home, guys. Ahmad is coming home. He is definitely coming home. He'll be playing next week in the Manchester derby. Well, we think so. It is a 4-2-3-1. One of them is going to drop out, whether that's Cunha, whether that's Interim, whether that's Ahmad. One of them is going to drop out, guys. There you go, guys. That's the thing with the formation, isn't it? You can't always get your own way. You can't always have your favourite players playing, etc., etc. But fair play to Ahmad. Spoke out against the sacking of Ruben Amorim yesterday. And those people who go against Ahmad are going against Ahmad. There you go, guys. Absolutely. We can spin it our own way, of course, guys. Absolutely. But, guys, let's get straight into some Manchester United news. Now, apparently, Manchester United behind the scenes have been interviewing various managers in regards to the potential job offer to them for the Man United full-time job. Now, apparently, what's circulating is that Man United have approached De Zerbi. Now, De Zerbi, of course, Marseille manager, of course, guys, he's done pretty well over there. Of course, managing Mason Greenwood, as we know, and stuff like that. Now, the thing with someone like De Zerbi is that he is a disciplinarian. De Zerbi is a disciplinarian. And I am thinking, after what's happened with obviously Ruben Amorim and, in the past, Jose Mourinho and things like that, I would be surprised if they hire a disciplinarian. I've said this now, even though Man United need to hire a disciplinarian, that's what this team needs. I would be surprised if Man United actually hired a disciplinarian. Man United actually hired a man like De Zerbi. I'll be extremely surprised by that. But it's in the possibility. Apparently, Man United are talking to De Zerbi. And what do you guys think about that? I think he's done okay at Marseille. It's not done, he's not set the world alight, but Marseille are Marseille. Marseille are going to be Marseille. Obviously, PSG dominate that league. But I don't think it'd be the world. It would be a major thing, a bad choice. I don't think it would be. It'd be a lot better than having Fletcher, Carrick, and obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the helm. Of course, it would be because look, Man United have got to stop this, man. If we really wanted a successful football team, we really got to move away from our nostalgia. Things like, oh, he's a good lad, sort of thing. Singing songs about him, sort of thing. We got to get away from that. We got to move firmly away from that. And we got to think about what is best for this football club and what is going to be best for this team right now. Now, obviously, the way that Ineos have supported or non-supported the manager, we're going to have our doubts about any manager that walks into the helm now. We're going to have doubts about whether he's going to be backed. He's going to be backed 100%. But looking at the team as we stand, as I've said many, many times, and I reiterate, this team is not far away. This team needed a couple of midfielders, maybe a couple of wing-backs. But now we don't need wing-backs. We need full-backs, don't we? It's all changed now. But wing-backs can play full-backs, can't they? But you can't play Ahmad as a right-back, for example, or a left-back. Do you know what I mean? So Man United's tactics have changed. So what I look at Man United right now, what do Man United need in the near term? Probably a right-back. I'll replace Dalot. Probably a couple of midfielders in there would be good. I believe in Dorgu. I think he's going to become a very good left back. Maybe an experienced left back there to challenge him for the position. And a couple of midfielders in there. Maybe a backup striker as well. We're not so far away, guys. We're not so far away as people like to say. And this is what annoys me and frustrates me the most. Because I know that the manager's going to come in. The manager will get his two midfielders probably. And, it's something that Ruben Amorim needed. And it's something like Ruben Amorim was trying to compensate for whilst he was here. And if Man United managed to get a couple of midfielders in, you're going to see a very good Manchester United team. At least we hope, fingers crossed. But it doesn't, you can't do it with an average subpar or even poor manager. So like Carrick has been sacked by Middlesbrough. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got sacked by Besiktas. What are we doing here, guys? We need to be real, guys. We need to understand that just because they're legends of Man United, Real Madrid want to do this, Bayern Munich want to do this, Barcelona want to do this. At the end of the day, they failed once, they won't be back. That's how it should be. And Michael Carrick being sacked at various other jobs, it's not like Michael Carrick has been working in the youth and blah, 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 and doing his thing. He's been at other clubs and he's failed. Now, you could look at Darren Fletcher and say, well, Darren Fletcher has been in the under-18s and blah, blah, blah. He could do a job for Man United. He can do it. That's up to debate. I mean, I wasn't impressed on against Burnley. I wasn't. I mean, some people have been talking about banging the drum about standards for the last few months. And they're celebrating a draw against Burnley. So there you go. The hypocrisy is mad, guys. It is. It really is. But someone like De Zerbi, of course, is a decent manager. I wouldn't say he's top of the tier. Roberto De Zerbi. I wouldn't say he's top of the tier. But of course, Man United were interested in Roberto De Zerbi a long time ago. And obviously before Ruben Amorim walked in, De Zerbi was one of the names that we were talking about, of course, guys. But back then, everyone wanted Amorim, just like everyone wanted Eric Ten Hag. There is talk also about Pochettino. Pochettino coming in on an interim basis, guys. Remember this. There is talk about Pochettino coming in on an interim basis. Now, look, there is rumors circulating that Man United have a secret guy they're talking to at the moment that could be offered the interim manager. I don't know, guys. This is rumors, right? Who is that guy? Could it be Pochettino on an interim basis? Could it be that? Could it be him? I don't think that'd be bad on an interim basis. I don't. On an interim basis. Do I rate Pochettino as a good manager? He's a decent manager. I wouldn't say he's like a manager that's going to get you to the promised land, so to speak. He had a good spell at Tottenham and Southampton, but that's about it. It's all up in the air at the moment, but what I would say is that the most likely scenario, of course, is obviously Fletcher, Carrick, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I look at this and I'm looking at, no, man, come on, guys, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is no Alex Ferguson. Far from it. Completely different ends of the spectrum. And I know people are going to say, oh, well, we shouldn't be thinking about Alex Ferguson, but we do, because at the end of the day, this team need discipline. They don't need a nice guy. They don't need a nice guy. The worst thing you can do, guys, is get an addict to manage an addict. You know what I mean? If you're addicted to something, the worst thing for you to do is get someone who's addicted to something to nurture you. You know what I'm saying? So basically, if, for example, if these players need discipline, they need a disciplinarian. They don't need someone who's nice to them, who's going to contribute to their ill discipline, if you get what I mean. So at the end of the day, if a manager comes in and he's all nice and lovey-dovey and let you do what you want, can I have a day off tomorrow, boss? Yeah, of course you can, Rash. Yeah, of course you can. You know what's going to happen, isn't it? The problems are not going to be fixed. No one likes discipline. No one likes to being told what to do. But some people need it. And if you want to be successful, you need a disciplinarian. You don't need someone coming in and letting you do whatever you want and letting everything. It's a bit like, being a parent or something like that and disciplining your children. You don't let them do what they want, because they'll do it again and again and again until, and they'll be spoiled for it, and you'll suffer for it in the long term. It's exactly with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I think what Man United need is someone strong to go in there and say, this team, listen, you don't F about with me now. You know what I mean? This is over now. Honeymoon period is over, guys. I'm here. That's what they need. Now, apparently, Jim Ratcliffe, behind the scenes, he's gone missing for some reason. He's disappeared into the abyss. Behind the scenes has said he's looking for someone who's going to, be disciplined with those players. Those players are not going to get away with it. And blah. I'll tell you who shouldn't get away with it. Is Jason Wilcox. Jason Wilcox is the guy that shouldn't get away with it. This guy is, he's already said that I see myself as a manager. This guy has delusions of grandeur. This guy has an illness. This guy is not the guy. He needs to be gone. I'm telling you right now. You know what I mean? He used to run with knobbly knees like this. Wilcox, if you know, if you watched him playing football, mate, he's got a knobbly head. I'm telling you right now, this guy is not right. This guy is an egotistical maniac, a narcissist. We need him out. He needs to go. And we need because at the end of the day, you bring in a De Zerbi, imagine, Wilcox knocking on the door, this is, I was thinking about your formation the other day, and I'm thinking maybe if you play him, you know what's going to happen in it. 99.9% of serious managers out there would not take that, guys. They wouldn't have that. They're the ones with the badges. They're the ones who manage other football clubs around the world, and they need their space. The pressure that was put on from Gary Neville, from Michael Carragher, from Nicky Butt, from Paul Scholes, and from Jason Wilcox is totally unacceptable, guys. We're tired of it. We're tired of it. I don't care if you're a Man United legend, mate. You're a human being now. You don't play for Man United. Man United are bigger than you. You know, and what we need to understand is that Man United are bigger than them. They are not the oracle of football. They came at a time when football, you know, when it was easy for them. We had Alex Ferguson, they had the surroundings, they had the environment, they had everything there for them to succeed, guys. Didn't they? But nowadays, you know what? These pros, these ex-footballers who used to play for Man United, and I love them, don't get me wrong, nostalgia and all that, thinking back, but we got to forget that now. I've seen that. I've seen 13 titles. I know they're legends. I know that. Thank you. But that's it, guys. We need to move forward at the end of the day. It's over with regards to that. They need to F off now and let us be what we have to be. Move on from it. Because at the end of the day, we're not going to move on. We are being intoxicated with our past now. And to be honest, this, and it's not only that, this fabrication of what our past was. I've said it many, many times. People are not educated on Man United's past. People think, oh, Man United's DNA is bringing through youngsters. It is not, guys. Yes, we've had a youngster on the bench since the 1930s or something like that. One youngster on the bench. But how many of those youngsters have gone on to be great players after the Busby Babes and pre the class of 92? And I've already said it, 14. 14. Mad, isn't it, guys? Absolutely mad. In what, 40 years? 14. Wow. And those players there, the 14 players there, didn't become elite players. And that's what I'm talking about here, guys. It's absolutely crazy. And people want to spread their narrative. They want everything. They want to mold something so that it fits their own sinister agenda, of course, guys. And that is obviously a problem. Now, let's get on with it in regards to some transfer news, guys. I know a little bit of transfer news for you guys. Fares Chaibi. Apparently, Manchester United have been very impressed with Fares Chaibi. Fares Chaibi is a centre midfielder, attacking midfielder, and left winger who I mentioned the other day, who currently plays for Frankfurt, and he also plays for the Algerian national team. He's got 27 caps for Algeria, 3 goals. He's valued about 15 million euros, guys, which is not that bad, to be honest with you. Very talented central midfielder, attacking midfielder, left winger, can do a number of roles in that team. Now, Fares Chaibi has been basically performing well at the African Nations, of course. Algeria got knocked out of the African Nations yesterday with a very disappointing 2-0 defeat to Nigeria. Nigeria absolutely, I think, swept the floor with them, if I'm being totally honest with you. But Algeria, the Algerian international has shone. He has shone. A couple of players at Algeria have shone, and I'm glad that we are mentioned Fares Chaibi because this guy was phenomenal throughout the tournament. Now, I said this tournament would represent an opportunity. It would represent an opportunity to look at players, see what players are out there, affordable players, because there are good players out there that are not going to break the bank, guys. It's whether they want to do it or not. They can't use Ruben Amorim sacking as an excuse. There are no excuses, guys. Excuses are done. You can get another guy over to the African nations and do a little bit of scouting. You can do that. But Fares Chaibi, apparently, Manchester United are very impressed with this gentleman. Very good player. I am impressed as well. Good player. Will they make the move? Will they make the move? Who knows? Only valued at 15 million. Eintracht Frankfurt player, guys. Play that one by ear. Very good player. Now, another player I've mentioned before that Man United are interested in, but not now, at the end of the season in June, is Marcus Senesi. Now, Marcus Senesi is a centre-back who currently plays for Bournemouth. He's on a free transfer. So, obviously, this is going to attract Man United. Of course, it's going to attract Man United. He's on a free transfer, guys. Of course he is. Now, he has 2 caps for Argentina. Centre-back, played very well for Bournemouth. A very good signing, but he's 28. He's 28. So what Man United are looking to do is bring in an experienced centre-back to act as cover. And Marcus Senesi could be that guy to be the guy to act as cover. Of course, guys, absolutely. So Marcus Senesi to Manchester United, 2026, free transfer from Bournemouth. 28 years old, 2 caps for Argentina. Why not make it happen? I don't know, guys. What do you think? I've given up. Ain't you? Have you? I have, definitely. But yeah, Fares Chaibi, very excited about that one. Very excited about Faris Chaibi, of course, guys. Big up everyone in the stream. I hope you're doing well. Welcome, guys. I hope everything is blessed with you. Big up Sanjay. Hope you're doing well. Big up Samuel Morales. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Big up Rajat. What's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well. Hope everything is blessed with you. Hope everything is good. I think the Zerbi mentioned De Zerbi a few days ago. Maybe I did it on a different channel. Conte, Zerbi. Enrique are those hope to see at the club. Conte and Enrique miles ahead of De Zerbi. Yeah, Conte and Enrique, in particular, Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique is the best manager in the world for me at the moment. And the reason I like Luis Enrique is because Luis Enrique is a manager that is versatile with personalities. Luis Enrique can look at you like one of the key characteristics about Alex Ferguson is that he adjusted to different personalities. And many people know it's famous that he adjusted to like Eric Cantona, for example. When Eric Cantona had a different personality and he adjusted to his personality. There are players out there that some of them need an arm around them. Some of them need a telling off. Some of them need a punch. Every player is different, right? And every personality is different. And the one thing about Luis Enrique which overrides everything is that, right? It's the fact that he's a good manager with different characters, guys. And another thing about him, he has a great philosophy. He doesn't believe in Galacticos. He doesn't believe in egos. And I like that about Luis Enrique. This is why Luis Enrique will always be my favorite for the Post. He was one of my favorites before Ruben Amorim walked in. And I think Luis Enrique would be that guy. Of course, he was judged after he managed Lazio, I think it was. He matched Lazio, and many people were like, oh, you know what I mean? Is he that guy? Is he that guy? And he's that guy. But he is. Luis Enrique is that guy. Conte plays 3 at the back. Not going to work. It will last 2 weeks, Jale. He won't last at Man United. Conte won't last. If you're thinking about Conte is a guy who likes confrontation. He likes confrontation. He likes arguing. He likes going to the media and arguing. That's Conte. He's leaving Napoli. He's arguing with Napoli. You know, this guy. I've got connection in Italy. He's a loose cannon. We need, and obviously he's managing in Italy, and he fouled at Tottenham. You know, so I don't know about Conte. Right. I would love to see Chivu Allegri at United. Italian manager Premier League always work. Maybe. I'm not sure about Allegri. Big up, Rajat. Bandita Mantata will be moved attacking position now. There is more need to play wing back. We got enough attacking options, mate. Cunha, Embuemo, Shea Lacey, Ahmad, Bruno. We've got too many. He's not going to get a chance, mate. He'll be on the bench, maybe, if he's lucky. I want De Zerbi, me too, Kenny fan. I want Luis Enrique as well. I do want Luis Enrique. I think Luis Enrique, there's a no-brainer there, Kenny. Luis Enrique is the guy that Man United should be going for full throttle right now as we speak. Luis Enrique should be that guy. I'm telling you. Poches in the manager, you say that would mean that desperate for the job. But yeah, it would mean that, Jale. This is something I was saying, but it would also mean a bit of Squella as well. But he can still manage USA until the end. If he manages Man United to the end of the season. Glasner and Thomas Frank have turned into frauds. Yes, they are. I've predicted that, guys. Listen, guys. Look. I'm saying this. I predicted that Thomas Frank and Glasner were not good enough, and I say that Ruben Amorim would have won the league for Man United eventually. You know, now we never know, would we? You know? Big up, Marky Mark. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. I'm very well. Good to see you, my brother. We need a clear out from top to bottom. We are shambles and big up, my guy. Absolutely. We do need a clear out from top to bottom, and we need personality to do that. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not that guy to do a clear out. Darren Fletcher, Michael Carrick are not them people. They're not them guys to tell you, like, you know what, mate? Sorry, mate. You're surplus to requirements. Out the door you go. Sorry, mate. Thanks, but no thanks. They're not that sort of guys. They're going to be like, all right, mate. What's going on, mate? How you doing, mate? They're them sort of guys. You know what I mean? They'll get pally with the players and that. It's not about being pals. You know what I mean? It's about winning football matches at the end of the day, as Ruben Amorim was trying to sort out, you know what I mean, and negotiate. But at the end of the day, look, there are managers out there. Luis Enrique is that man that everyone can get on board with. They need to go out there, no matter how much it costs. Go and get Luis Enrique. He's not signed another contract at PSG. He's done his duty at PSG. He's won the Champions League now. Listen, Man United may not be attractive to some, right? Some people may not think Man United are attractive anymore. But what better incentive than bringing Man United back to the top where we belong? What better incentive than that? Do you know what I mean? Raja, opinion about De Zerbi? Decent. Not top tier. I would say decent. better than Carrot, better than Fletcher, better than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Will get us into a tune. Will get us into a kind of play. He's a good manager. He's not a bad manager. He's a good manager. Is he an elite manager that's going to get Man United today? Is he a Luis Enrique? Nah, not at all. He's a manager that can get you stabilized, sort of thing. You know what I mean? But I haven't seen enough of him to say he's managing Marseille. Marseille have little to no budget. So at the end of the day, what would I say? I can't hold that against him, because he is managing Marseille and it's a very difficult team to manage. Of course, Marseille is a great club, but obviously they've fell off many years and they haven't won many things since then. Morning, Fanatic 8, you legend. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Glasner ain't it. It may be a good coach, but at a decent level, but at big clubs like Man United will suffer a fate as Amram without backing. He's a worse manager than Amram. So is Thomas Frank. Amram's one of the best managers in the league, but you know what? Tell the man, them minions that. People saying it's been a perfect week for Man United. We've had a great week at Man United. De Zerbi was sat. Amram was sat, and Ahmad is coming home. And can someone explain to me how it's been a good week for Man United? Am I missing the boat somewhere here? Are these people stupid? I think all the fat and the cholesterol's getting to their head. Because at the end of the day, can someone please explain to me how we had a good week when we just drawn to Burnley, right? 2-2, right? Can someone take a move from 5th to 7th? Right? Can someone just explain to me how that works? Because I must be really missing something here. I may be going crazy, delusions. I don't know, mate. But I don't know, man. People are mad, absolutely. If you celebrate that, man. All right, Mount is another 10, maybe another one. Exactly right, Rajat. It's going to be difficult to fit these players in now. Anyway, tonight against Brighton, we ain't scared. Who's scared of Brighton? Why would we be scared? I mean, let's not forget, Kenny. Let's not forget this old chestnut, right? Ruben Amram defeated Brighton 4-2. So no excuses tonight about Brighton because we beat them with Ruben Amram 4-2. And boy, oh boy, if we do not beat Brighton tonight, I will post up that little picture there of the score when we played Brighton at Old Trafford. Of course I'm going to do that. Of course I am. Because at the end of the day, they knew better, didn't they? They knew right. They knew better. We got Brighton tonight. No, Mbremo's not going to be back. No, Ahmed's not going to be back. He's not going to be back in time. They will be back for the Manchester derby, of course, next week, which is good news. And regardless who plays, it's always good to have a big squad. It's good to have a big squad. It's good to have a squad of players. Brighton are going to be tough. Brighton are going to be up for it. Brighton are going to try and take advantage of the situation that Man United in. And Man United need to be aware. Man United need a big run in the FA Cup. Because if everything goes to the pits, we got the FA Cup to fall back on, just like Eric Ten Hag had, and we end up qualifying for the Europa League, if you remember. We need that FA Cup, and we need an FA Cup run. Brighton's not an easy game. I would have much preferred to play bloody Exeter City like Manchester City did, but unfortunately, we're not. So we're going to have to play Brighton and Hove Albion. And, there we go, guys. Look, it's a very, very big week in regards to Man United. We've got a lot of things going on at Man United. Of course, the managerial situation is going to be resolved. Most likely in the next couple of days, we'll know who the next manager is going to be, who the manager is going to be against Manchester City. What do I think at this moment in time? What I think, the Pochettino rumor is just a rumor. Of course, managing Man United to the end of the season, then he goes and manages USA. It's a little bit of a big stretch, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to happen. De Zerbi at the end of the season. I don't know. I just don't think it's the right manager. I don't think he's at that level. They need to say this right now, at this very moment in time, guys. Right now, they need to say, okay, Luis Enrique is coming in at the end of the season. You are just the interim manager. That's it. That's all. So we all have this enthusiasm, but yeah, this is good, but we're building something for Luis Enrique at the end of the season. That's what we need. We don't need to be second guessing on will he get the job, won't he get the job? Players thinking, oh, is he going to be the manager? Isn't he going to manager? We need a clear plan. Luis Enrique is the guy at the end of the season, and then we can get to the end of the season and Luis Enrique walks in. Luis Enrique's got no, entanglements. He's got no entanglements. He might be leaving PSG, and you know what? We'll be bringing in Luis Enrique. He's not going to the World Cup, is he? So we can bring him in. And obviously he can work his wonders and stuff like that. And if Luis Enrique comes into the football club, of course, maybe, just maybe, he could bring one or two of those very talented PSG players to Manchester United if we're lucky, of course, guys, but we'll have to wait and see. Glasner lost the toxic card. Who Wayne Rooney brother as a manager. Macclesfield doing the job. One of the worst shocks in FA Cup history, considering where, if you know about the history about Macclesfield Town, they were almost out of business, guys. Even Robbie Savage took charge of that football team. Robbie Savage, took charge of the football team. That's how bad Macclesfield Town were, and they went and beat the champions of the FA Cup. Glasner, no, thank you. Good, thanks, but no, but we knew that anyway. He's a decent manager for Crystal Palace, for Bournemouth. That just like Areola is, just like Thomas Frank was a decent manager for Brentford. He's not going to go to that next level because he's not that good. And these people are crazy, man. They don't get Glasner. He's going to cook. Get Areola. They just didn't want Ruben Amorim. That's all it was. Yeah, I mean, these people are crazy. It's idiots. Brighton, Munich again. That's what's going to happen, Roy. That happens every single time. Of course, Brighton, Munich. If you know, you know. Brighton always turn up against Man United. Apart from Ruben Amorim, when Ruben Amorim smacked them up 4-2 earlier in the season. So I don't want to see any excuses today. Phil the man, what's going on, my friend? I'll be doing well. Just got home from work. Who's the secret talk Swift, mate? Look, no, I'm not going to come out and say I'm a fly on the wall, Phil, but I'm hearing it's someone De Zerbi. It's De Zerbi, it's Pochettino at this very moment in time. Now, whether one of them comes in on an interim basis, I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, it's going to be very difficult to get any one of those managers out of their roles where they are into an interim management thing. It'll be a money thing, if anything. But I am not 100%, but the talk about Man United, that there's a secret candidate for the Manchester United position. Let's wait and see. I would like Carlo Ancelotti, Luis Enrique, bro. Yeah, Carlos Ancelotti's at Brazil, though. Just signed a contract with them. I think he's happy there. De Zerbi plays proper football. Amaro Vega. Yep. If he can do that at Man United, he needs to back him, though, doesn't he? It feels like if Enrique comes, he will instantly command respect out of these players, hopefully. Enrique is the right man for the job. I'm not going to have anything else. Luis Enrique is the right man for Manchester United. Guys, this guy is a very, very good manager. He's versatile. He can be disciplined. He can be nice. He's been through a lot in his life, Luis Enrique. If you learn about what he's been through in his personal life, you would know. Also was a fantastic player at Barcelona, an absolutely game-changing manager, a player at Barcelona. You know what I mean? Absolutely. We want Salmarim. We want Salmarim. You want Salmarim? You're not going to get me, mate. I'm too expensive. Sal is too expensive, mate. Sorry, mate. You're going to have to find someone else. I'm far too expensive, guys. Listen, I drink Costa coffee, mate. You're drinking out of a well. There you go. Right. Guys, yeah, look, at the end of the day, Luis Enrique is the right guy for Manchester United. You know what I mean? And I think that is what Man United should do. And I think that would give everyone a boost. If we had an agreement with Luis Enrique already in place now, that at the end of the season, we're going to get him, I think most of us will be extremely excited and happy about that, of course, guys. Absolutely. Now, been watching the AFCON, saw a lot of good players, been scouting the AFCON, of course. We're moving into the semi-final stage now. So, it's getting into the nitty-gritty. I've been very impressed with a few players. Of course, and I like to think that there's a few players there that Man United are gonna scout and gonna earmark and gonna sign in the summer, because I've seen some very, very good players. Some players that be extremely affordable as well. Of course, I was looking at Nigeria yesterday, and I was looking at the wing backs of Nigeria, and I thought, you know what, not the wing backs, so to speak, were the full backs, and they look very good. Played very well as a team, and very, very. Going in the same direction, every single one of those players. The spirit's good, the balance is good of that team. And I looked at Nigeria and I thought that's a proper team. You know what I mean? They're a proper team. And Morocco are going to be big problems when they play them next week, of course, guys. But yeah, Nigeria, a proper team. And I was looking at them and I think, Man United need to do some scouting with these players. They need to go out there and, I wish there was someone out there. I wish Wilcox, you know what, guys? This is what I'm saying. Wilcox should be sitting there in Morocco watching those AFCONs. What is he doing? He's going on there. He's talking. That's all he's doing. Talking about how he wants to be a manager. How this, how is that? You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, guys. I mean, he needs to do his job. And that's exactly what Ruben Amorim said. Do your job. Be a scout. That's what it is. And that's exactly what these people... We got a lot of people at our football club that, main character syndrome. It's main character syndrome. And they all want to be the main character. You're a scout, mate. Go and scout. Ruben Amorim was right. Go and scout. You know what I mean? And stop like trying getting involved Guys, can you imagine that, Luis Enrique walks in or De Zerbi walks in or someone like that, right? And then you got Jason Wilcox, who's never managed in his career at a high level, in your ear all the time, telling you should do that formation, you should play that player, you should do that. Let's wait and see. Now, guys, very interesting to see what the lineup's going to be today for Brighton and Hove Albion. Of course, it will be probably a 4-2-3-1. I'm guessing, in my opinion, that it will be the same team that played the other night. That's just my opinion. I think it will be the same team that played the other night. The reason it's going to be the same team that played the other night, we may not even see JJ Gabriel. We would have seen JJ Gabriel under Ruben Amorim, but we probably won't see him now. It's because Darren Fletcher's going to fight tooth and nail to win this game. Because obviously, if Darren Fletcher wins this game, it gives him a greater chance of becoming the interim boss for the next 6 months. And that is the aim for Darren Fletcher. Don't get it twisted. Darren Fletcher wants to be the full-time manager of Man United. Guys, I'm telling you right now. And he's going to want to play his best team, and he's going to want to win that game 100%. So don't be surprised if you see, of course, you probably see a Dalot right back, Heaven centre-back, Leach centre-back, Shaw left back, Ugarte, Casemiro, and then you'll probably have Cunha, Bruno Fernandes, and who else is going to be there? Cunha, Bruno Fernandes, probably a Mason Mount up there as well with Sesko at this moment in time, or Dorgu on the right and Bruno Fernandes a number 10, and as Cunha as a as a left, and then obviously Sesko up front, something like that. So you're not going to see anything special. There might be some youngsters on the bench, but I know that very well that Darren Fletcher wants to win this game, and he's very, very interested in the interim role, and he would love to be there for the next 6 months. Guys, absolutely. Good morning, Noah. How you doing, brother? I hope you're doing well, by the way. Good to see you. Sorry. And fans like Ole Carrick and whoever it is need assistance. Great coach. Exactly that. Big up. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. Fan, hope you're doing well. Good to see you. I'm not defending Wilcox. Wilcox is a technical director, not a DOF. We don't need a DOF right now. I hate to say it, but his job is actually to talk about tactics with the manager and coach. It's not actually, mate. He's a scout. He's a scout. He's not allowed to tell the manager to talk about tactics. He's not. He's a scout. Amram said it there. He's not allowed to talk to her. You want Jason Wilcox to talk about the tactics with Ruben Amram, and Jason Wilcox hasn't managed at any level. What kind of nonsense is that, mate? His job is not that. Yarli, learn about football, man. Honestly, you've got to learn. His responsibility is not to tell Ruben Amram, who was employed as a free at the back manager, to play four at the back. That's not his job. That's the manager's job. That's the coach's job, the main coach. Right? You can whisper in someone's ear, maybe you should play a 4, but you do not dictate that. Wilcox needs to be sacked. That is all I want to see from Wilcox. He's P45. You know what I mean? That's at the end of the day. P45. Needs to be sacked. And needs to be out of this football club. He's a problem. Big problem. Wilcox is a clown. Ineos are clowns. Ineos need to be sacked. Ineos need to leave this football club, and so do the Glazers. They fucked this football club up. And let me tell you. Sal, I'm hearing, Lacey, you're hearing from who, Fielder, man? From who? From who? No, he's not. Maybe. I would like that myself, Phil. Let me just say that. I would like that, but I think that it'd be Cunha, Fernandes, and Dorgu, in my opinion. I would like Shea Lacey instead of Dorgu, move Dorgu into the right back position or the left back position. I think that would be better. But I'm thinking, this is just my thinking, right, that Fletcher's going to be wanting to win that game and he won't risk it. But I really like Shea Lacey, and I hope he plays. It's a possibility. I hope he plays. It'd be good. It'd give the team a little bit of a boost. Do you know what I mean? Raja, have a game to win this game. Absolutely. What's up, Renee? How you doing, my friend? If we get a wow like Enrique or Ancelotti after the World Cup, we should just sack Wilcox, if not very least reduce his authority and responsibilities. Absolutely. He's just a scout, mate. DJN, so we should be kept drawing and losing, win free back at the end of the season. DGM, let me tell you something about football, which you might not understand about football, right? When you come into a football club that has a toxic environment around it, Man United were basically asbestos as sea. We were a derelict building, basically, right? You got problems off the pitch, you got problems on the pitch. You have to lay a foundation, right? When you lay a foundation, there's going to be bumps on the road, my guy. Now, we were 3 points from fourth place, and we were starting to dominate games. We were starting to press teams, and we're starting to get more goals. Third in the league in regards to goal XG, third in the league in regards to assist XG. Now, what people don't understand, they look at results and look at results and look at results. We were on the way to something. We were improving. Okay. Now, if we didn't get a 4 out of 10 window and fix that midfield, those draws, right, would have turned into wins if we didn't have to play Bruno in the middle or play Mainu, who's an absolute crybaby bitch. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we would have actually been all right, and we would have turned those draws into wins and losses into draws, and Man United be right up there in the top 4. And we weren't even far away. The problem, people like you, mate, is that you think about football in a very simplistic thing. Flintstones FC, Caveman FC, booga, booga, boom, boom. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. And you look at football in very simplistically, and you don't look at football in a way that football should be looked at in regards to the way that we built our success in the past, how we built our success, how we got to standards, how did we get there? You don't understand that you went around. I do, 40 years. So at the end of the day, when you're trying to build something, you're going to have bumps on the road. 18 months, 14 months, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? The toxicity behind the scenes, removing the bad apples that are in this squad. Man United are not like any other animal. We got problems from top to bottom, right? And we were trying to fix those problems. There's too much of a simplistic overweight, cholesterol-driven people telling us what's good for Manchester United. And I'm tired of it. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, if people don't understand that, it's hard to explain to you. It's hard to explain to people who are not inclined in regards to ball. We are not going to win a league like this. Even the best, look at who said it. Peter Schmeichel, Mark Bosnich. People with no affiliation now to Man United in regards to conflicts of interest said it. It's the wrong thing. Even Paul Bloody Merson, Arsenal fans are telling us we're absolute banter now. We're banter now because of that opinion. You know what I mean? Absolute crazy. Noah, whoever going to be the next manager is Carlo Ancelotti, going to Roberto Zerbi, etc. But I'm on the Glazers and Ineos because they aren't going anywhere. I'm watching them. Yeah, absolutely, Noah. Unpopular opinion: sell Bruno to Saudi League, the money, replace him with Xerxes. That Cunha assist was insane. Calm down, fan. Calm down, mate. Xerxes plays in slow motion, mate. That Xerxes plays in slow motion. Fan, that's a dead opinion, mate. Honest to God. Replace Bruno with Xerxes. Never said anything so crazy. Oh my goodness. Not even by that is Glazers love you, fan. That's one thing. Good morning, fam. Irene, Sal, who you think will come and take over the club? Very frustrated with these owners. Own the club. At the moment, we're stuck with the Glazers and we're stuck with Ineos. That's who we're stuck with at the moment. Unfortunately, we're stuck with Ineos and the Glazers because people like the guy who mentioned, just read a comment, and some of those content creators are too dumb to understand the woods from the trees. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, that's where we are. We need Anderson in January. We're not going to get him. It's not going to happen in January. Absolutely not. As much as I would love him, my guy, Kevin, big up. Raja, I'm thinking field today is Casemiro, Ugarte, and Bruno. It's the two midfielders. It's a 4-2-3-1, mate. So it'd be two in midfield, not three. Coco, gutted for us, but at least United gets Ahmad and Bremo right back on time. Yes, that's a little bit of a blessing, of course. No, it won't be a post-World Cup, yeah, and he probably might be even more money. But after the World Cup, Anderson might be a little bit more money now, isn't it, at the end of the day? Wilcox could be advice on chicken plucking like they do in Blackburn, but on tactics, not so much. Yeah, absolutely. Big up, Roberto. Robert, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I hope everything is best for you. But guys, agree with what you said, but don't you think results go hand in hand with time given to the manager? Only with people who don't want long-term success. Let me tell you that right now. Only people who don't want long-term success, they concentrate on what's going on now. Just like Arteta came 8th a couple of times and stuff like that. They concentrate what's going on now. Look, at the end of the day, Man United's problems are unique to any other problems, my guy. You know, they are unique to what they are, to what we are. Our problems are different to everyone else. And what Man United need was something completely different to what we've done in the past. Look, we sacked 10 managers in 12 years. What have we done? What have we done? Have we challenged for a league? No. You know, yeah, we may get the odd little blessing here and there with a little trophy here, maybe a second place, 20 points behind Man City or something like that. We might do that, right? But guys, on the COVID season, but we're not going to challenge the league like this, because when you're trying to plant a seed and the seed is starting to grow, the plant's starting to grow. Once the plant grows and we cut it off, are we going to get a plant? Are we going to get a plant? And that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's not going to happen, is it? Now, I don't care anymore because at the end of the day, they've done it. It's over. Move on, right? They've done it. Let's see what we do now. We've gone from 5th to 7th now. We've gone from 3 points to from 5th, I think 5 points from 4th now. I'm not sure, but it was 3 points from 4th, but we've gone down to 7th. And there's no excuses today, and there will be no excuses for the rest of the season. We've got Manchester City coming up. We've got Arsenal coming up. We need to win those games, and that's the most important thing now. What is done is done. What I say doesn't matter. What you say doesn't matter. What's done is done. They're not going to go back. That's it. They're going to have to show us now what their plan is. And the plan for me, my guy, the plan for me is Luis Enrique. That's the only guy I would say, go and get Luis. Young, talented, Champions League winner, recently as well, coming to Man United, good personality. That's what we want. Someone like that. Bring someone like that in and we move on, guys. But again, let me clarify. If Luis Enrique comes into this football club and we change our formation and we try and play football and we're trying to build something, we're going to cut it off from the source again. We're going to cut it off again if we start getting bad results. Bad results are part of football. Losing's part of learning. Let me tell you that. When the class of 92 came through, people think it was a bed of roses. People think that we started win. Nah, we lost lots of games. 4-1, 5-1, 6-3. We lost a lot of games, guys. You know what I mean? But listen, patience is a virtue, and patience is very underrated as well. You know, unfortunately, we've got petulant little children dictating Man United's future. Petulant little children on their platforms and stuff like that, talking about what football is, about the birds and the bees. You know, they think they know, but they don't. We'll be back here in a year. And they'll probably like that because it gets some clicks and it gets some likes. So they probably like that. They probably like the fact that they're going to be sacking another manager. That's what they like. That's what they do. That's what they're all about. That's what people understand. We don't. We want our team to win. I wish the next manager the best of luck. And that's all I can say. They're going to need it, you know? Why do Wilcox have high cholesterol? I'm not talking about them, mate. Rajat, no way. Big up my guy, Rajat. Replacing Bruno with Xerxes is like replacing a beating up Ferrari with a horse carriage. That's an horrible opinion. Sorry, fam. I think because of one pass that I could have done. Oh my goodness. We always win at City at home. It's just a mascot. No, we don't always win at City at home, mate. We don't always win at City at home. Someone tell me when we've always beaten City. We beat them sometimes, and not all the time. That beating up Ferrari will be started way faster. Big up. Who's going to place the 2-story duplex with a 1-bedroom suite? Exactly. God. Sal, I would love Enrique, but would he put up with Walcott's and Phil? Probably not, Phil. Probably not. He probably won't. I'd probably say he won't put up with him. This is the problem with it. This is why they need to be sacked. They need to go. Phil, they need to go, mate. This is what I'm saying. I mean, no manager of any standing in Europe, De Zerbi, Ancelotti, Luis Enrique, Zidane, these managers are not going to put up with Wilcox. Wilcox is a bum. Wilcox is a guy, he doesn't know nothing about managing football teams. If Wilcox got up, if Wilcox so much wants to be a manager, go and manage a bloody a League One side, get the League One side promoted, get up that league in a championship and prove that you can manage. But he's not managed anyone. You know, he needs to stick to talent development, getting players through the door, scouting players, become a scout. Just like Ruben Amorim said, he's a scout. He needs to get about scouting. You know what I mean? He should be at the African nations right now. Where is he? You know, at the end of the day, why is it fans like me and other people who are looking at players in the AFCON and saying, he's a good player. Oh, he's a good player. I like the look of that player. Why are we doing that? And why is Wilcox not doing that? Do you know what I mean? Raja, getting Enrique would be amazing as well. Media trained as well. Doesn't usually get angry in public. He's very calm, mate. Let's not forget, right, guys, all fairness and all praise to Enrique, of course, because he lost his daughter, right? And that must have been very heartbreaking for him, young daughter, of course. And my prayers and thoughts go out to him and his family. But he still came back. He came back and he managed PSG and he made PSG the most successful PSG in the history of PSG, right? Not with Galacticos either, guys, with Doué and players like that. You know, not with Galacticos either. He built a team. And that's what I like about you, Luis Enrique. You know, he built a team that can compete. You know, he didn't just buy Messi and Neymar and that. He got rid of those players. He said, these players are not good for me. You know, I need players that are going to play for me, and that's it, not egos. I like him. I really do. And he'll go somewhere else if not. Noah, Sal, Ahmed and Bremer are coming back for the game against Man City. Yes, great news. Next Saturday, that means Cunha will play left midfield, but the right midfield position, whoever is going to play, whatever it's Ahmed or Bremer, one of them will drop out, Noah. Unless we drop Bruno into the midfield and play, basically we'll play Casemiro and Bruno midfield. The three will be Ahmed and Bremer and Cunha with Sesko up front. That's the only thing we can do. The only other thing we can do is move Sesko out and put Cunha as a false number 9 or whatever you want to do, or Bruno Fernandes as a false number 9 or whatever you want to do. So at the end of the day, things can be done, but ultimately I think Man United need to drop one. That's just life. That's what a big squad is. That's what the formation is going to change, but there's nothing wrong with having a big squad. I personally think Ahmad should come off the bench. That's it. Because he's been at the AFCON the longest, and that's what I think, you know. Yes, Sal, big up my friend Red Terry. What's going on? Yes, Sal, everyone, all the managers being mentioned are not yes men. It will end up the same way as Amarim. But do we give up and do we just say, okay, then we accept Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Darren Fletcher, and Michael Carrick? Do we just say, okay, let's just have them? You know what I mean? We're not going to be successful with them. We need to hold them accountable. I've heard different. I've heard Jim Ratcliffe wants a disciplinarian. That's what I've heard. You know, they need to sack, the most important thing, they need to sack Jason Wilcox. Jason Wilcox needs to be out the door. That's what needs to happen first. You know, 6-3 at the Etihad doesn't ring a bell. No, Manchester United doesn't want to win every game. I mean, yeah. Man United do not beat Man City every game. We've had some bad defeats at Old Trafford in particular. Noah, Sal, what's your prediction for today's game? I heard some rumors that JJ Goen might be on the bench again. He probably might be. Noah, my prediction for today's game, 2-1 Man United. 2-1 Man United. Ben Sesko now to start today? Probably yes. Yeah. Smash the likes and thank you so much, my guy. Morning, my friend Marcus. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're good, my brother. Good to see you. 42 likes, guys. Can we get to 50 likes, guys? 100 in the house. Can we get to 50 likes? Let's do this, guys. Look, ultimately, guys, what we say is this, because I'm a very fair person. When it comes to my opinion, it's my opinion. And you know what? I don't like being right, but I have been right since the last couple of managers. Few managers, in fact, right? Including Erik ten Hag, who I felt was wrong at the time to sack him because I didn't think he was the problem. It was the board that was the problem. However, they sacked him and they got a good manager in there and they sacked him after 14 months without, you know, giving him the tools to do his job. You know, and we have to move on. We've got an awful ownership, pound for pound, the worst ownership in football. That's my opinion. Pound for pound, Man United have the worst ownership in football. I would argue that with anyone. Anyone who supports this Ineos are not Man United fans. And that's as simple as that. I don't care what you say. Anyone who supports Ineos, I don't care how big your platform is, how fortunate you were to exploit the market when you're at that time. You are not a Man United fan if you support Ineos and the Glazers. It's as simple as that, right? And that's what I would say. Good morning, Tyborg. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Big up, Tyborg. Hope you're blessed. So, yeah, look, you know, now, look, guys, we have, literally a couple of weeks for the transfer window to close, and we haven't done any business. Ineos are working their ways. They're getting what they wanted, not spending any money. And this is something that we have to remember what they tried to do. Probably why they ended up sacking Ruben Amorim in January. So they don't have to do any business and they don't have to spend any of that skrilla, any of that money, of course, guys, you know? Greeting, fellows. Good greeting, my friend. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Who dares Adele? Big up Del. Del boy, what's going on? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Hope everything is blessed with you. I hope you're having a fabulous Sunday. Cheers. Big up. Yeah, so the well drinkers, the over cholesterolized human beings who were celebrating Ruben Amorim being sacked. Listen, at the end of the day, what tickles their fancy, because they don't get any tickles anyway because they're not married. What tickles their fancy, whatever makes them happy, whatever gets them up in the morning, whatever helps them fall asleep at night, good for them. Let them do what they want, because at the end of the day, Man United will not be doing this anytime soon, guys. And that's working these muscles right here, which is trophies. And they won't. Big up, Benny. What's going on, my friend? How you doing, my guy? Hope everything is blessed with you. Good to see you, mate. Hope everything is good with you. Of course. Absolutely. But it's been a crazy week. And again, guys, Tyborg, I'm shocked that after almost 2 decades of downfall, some fans still find a reason to praise the ownership. What is it make these people? I will not even give them, Tyborg, an indirect praise. I will not give them credit for anything. Nothing is going to make me say one thing remotely positive about them. Nothing. There's nothing positive about them. Nothing. I find nothing, like, you know what I mean? It's a bit like looking at a grey wall, right? And trying to find colours in it. I am not going to find any colours in them in regards to their soul. They are deep, grey, depressing, useless bunch of individuals. That's what they are. Good morning, Saviour. I hope you're doing well. Good morning, sir. Those owners are useless. They don't have a football mind. Absolutely, Saviour, my guy. Big up, my bro. Raja, Delit is back or no? And I think the Ahmed might make the benches up. For goodness sake, Maguire, Shaw, Dalot. It just drives me mad. We still have these players playing for Man United and people expect us to do better this time round, even though we're the same players. You know, he's going to do it this time. Wait it go. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, guys. We still got the same players. Been playing for Man United for 15 bloody years. And we're going and we're saying, this time this time it's the new me. Better than ever. You know what I mean? Better than ever. What makes... a Maguire from now better than Maguire from 2018? What can someone please explain to me? I don't understand. It's crazy. Ephraim, Sal, embarrassing thing. They want Ole to shut the fans. People don't understand that they are manipulating the fan base. They are got you on a puppet on a string like this, right? This is what Ineos are doing to you guys, right? They've got you on a puppet on a string. Right. Oh, you know what? The fan base are very annoyed by the sacking of Ruben Amorim. How are we gonna warm to the fans? How are we gonna take the mind away from Ruben Amorim? Let's get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Smiles, happiness, sing songs. Ole's at the wheel. Tell me how good does it feel? And that's exactly what it is. You know what I mean? We're becoming a bloody Christmas compilation CD. That's what we're becoming. We're more of a Christmas compilation CD than we are a football club because we like singing. We want Glazers out. Say we want Glazers out. Hip the hop, the hippity hip hop, don't stop, boogity boogity beat. That's what we are at the end of the day. We're a compilation CD. We don't do anything. We sing. Guys, Man United might as well just, Matthias de Ligt, Casemiro should just knock on doors and do choirs. That's what we should do because at the end of the day, that's what we are. We're bloody sing-song club. Sing-song. Oh, get Fred the Red. Oh, yeah, happy, 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 happy. You know what I mean? Fuck's sake. Honest to God. You might as well get Barney the dinosaur. Get everyone singing, I love you, you love me, we're a happy family. Because this is what this club is about at the moment. Clowneries, banteries. We got people looking like the bloody Marshmallow Man in Ghostbusters talking about tactics with big platforms that were given to them by other big platforms. And it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? What can I say? Red Terry, can see United making a big thing about Ahmed and Mbeumo returning to Mars over the signings. It's true, mate. Absolutely. Very good point. It's plan A in the club's playbook. We don't even have the best clowns in the circus, let alone in the club. Well said, mate. Absolutely. And that is a very good point. They're going to, it's like a new signing having Mbeumo and Ahmed back. That old chestnut. We remember that, innit? You know what I mean? Oh, that old chestnut. It's like a new signing. You said it, Terry. Terry said it there. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, big up, Tel. Rajat, keep distracting us with your new merchandise and the excuses, and it's hard to challenge January markets. Absolutely. Platformception. Look, you know what? We got people with, you know what I mean, can hold bloody, babies in their eye sacs because they got so much bloody dark rings under their eyes talking about. Rajat. Dang Ineos getting roasted big time. I mean, they're going to get roasted. It's not going to stop, guys. And the only thing is those big people with those platforms who want to Ruben Amorim sacked are facilitators to them. That's what they are. They think that one day they're going to bring me into the football club. They're going to make me an ambassador of the football club. I'm going to sit there, you know what I mean, in my double chair because I'm so huge. Talking, you know what I mean, about football. I would love I would love to have Jim Ratcliffe on here. That would be incredible, wouldn't it? If I managed to get Jim Ratcliffe on this show. He would never speak to me again because he wouldn't be able to answer my question. I'm not Gary Neville. I'm not Gary Neville who will ask him those simple questions that he can answer that feed into his narrative that it's not difficult to answer those questions, you know? It would be amazing. Imagine it. Imagine he's put to the real Man United fans, you know? So why did you do that, Jim? I mean, Jim, you said that Sheikh Nassim Hamid doesn't exist. Why did we see him at a Club World Cup Championship final? You said that we're going to go bankrupt in December. That was a lie, wasn't it? You know, you said that you're going to back Ruben Amorim in the summer. You didn't back him 100%. That was a 4 out of 10 window. Where's the midfield? Where's the wing backs to support his system? You know, you hired Ashwood, you sacked him. You hired, you gave Eric Ten Hag a new contract, you sacked him. You hired Amorim, you sacked him. You know, you've made hundreds and thousands of people unemployed. You know? So what's going on there, Jim? How's it going, Jim? You know? Jim, also, one little bit of a question for you. You said you're a Manc born and bred and Man United since you were a young kid, right? I ain't got a pot to piss in, but I've got bloody pictures when I was young and Man United jerseys and Man United whatever. I got proof that I was a Man United fan 40 years ago. Where's yours? Because there's no evidence of you being a Man United fan before the takeover process. But there is evidence of you being a Chelsea season ticket holder. So what's all that about, Jim? Those are the questions I would ask him. F Eddie Howe and Eddie Howe's dry lips. I can't be bothered with Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe's underachieving at a very, very good Newcastle team. Very good. That Newcastle team should be in the top bloody 3. Look at that midfield. My goodness me. Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe. How for now? How as Eddie Howe still at Newcastle United? Couldn't be to do with the passport, could it? Yeah, I mean, my goodness me. I guarantee you once Saudi Arabia sort out the FFP and PSR, they're going to sack him anyway. Yeah, but guys, look. It is clowneries. Every day is an absolute joke at Man United. Do you know what I mean? We don't need Michael McIntyre. We've got bloody Man United. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And, you know, there should be comedy sketches about Man United. There will be comedy sketches in the future about Man United. I'm going to be, I'm going to be nauseating when I hear, Ole's at the wheel. Tell me how good does it feel? What's the new song going to be? Ole's at the wheel. Tell me how good does it feel? We've got who? We've got, we got, guys. You got to get the new words for it. So Alex Ferguson stinking the place out. I think that was a little bit harsh. I think that's harsh. But one thing I would say, Del, is that Roy Keane was absolutely right. Why would we use emotional reasons not to call Roy Keane? So Roy Keane's basically not going to be called because his relationship with Alex Ferguson. Roy Keane's still a Man United legend. Sharon Gamandi Cole never got on, famously. You know, this is our problem. This is exactly what it is right here in an absolute bubble right here. We won't call Roy Keane because he doesn't get on with Alex Ferguson. I'm sorry, but Alex, you're a legend. You're the greatest manager of all time. But you were the reason behind the Glazers, and you were the reason behind David Moyes. So I'd cut this one out. Sit this one out, sir. That's it. All right, just sit this one out. Enjoy your retirement. We'll look at something, and that's what I would say. As a legend who witnessed his whole career, by the way. You know, I would say that. Esty, big up. Sal, the new Carrington is built from Ineos investment or from the club revenue. The Carrington was an agreement with the Glazers because the Glazers couldn't afford the reconstruction of the new of Carrington. So basically, part of the agreement of Ineos taking over at Manchester United was in the agreement with the Glazers that they would pay reluctantly, begrudgingly, for the Carrington regeneration project. That is the reason. And that is why it's a little evidence right there, right, guys, that if Ineos did not come in and facilitate that, the Glazers couldn't afford it, the £1 billion, whatever, 100 million, whatever it was, reconstruction of that. They couldn't afford it. So they would have ended up selling to Qatar. Jim Ratcliffe bent over backwards for the Glazers. He done everything to get his vanity project. Even if he didn't want to do it, look at him when he's cutting the ribbon in the Carrington. Look at his face. He doesn't give a damn. He's pissed off because he spent money. Watching go on the Grim Stinker. What you like the Grim Stinker? Big up. Tyborg. How is just another amateur manager who wants to be destroyed by these arrogant players and bored? We need someone who had an experience and charisma, but no proper manager will come to this mess, that's for sure, unless they're given the tools and contractually given the tools. So if a manager comes in, like Luis Enrique, for example, he has to put the contract down and say, okay, I like the contract, blah, 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 but here's my stipulations, right? I want full control. Sign on my contract. I want manager. Sign on my contract. Not first team coach. I want manager. Signed on my contract. That's what I want. Will they do that? You know? I kind of agree with you, Dale. I think it would have been a good choice. I think even after David Moyes, I think we should have got, I think we still can get someone like Roy Keane. I think Roy Keane's the most perfect. For an interim role, I would love to see him. Did quite well at Sunderland. I don't think he did bad at Sunderland. And I thought for an interim role, I think it wouldn't be a bad idea, mate. You know what I mean? Big up, my friend. I was listening to German football experts the other day. They took United as an example that German clubs should avoid doing. I was hurting, but they were so spot on. German clubs have a very, very good motto in regards to owning football clubs. 50+1 is brilliant. And I wish we had it in England, you know. I really do. Guys, I want to thank everyone, you know, for joining me. I appreciate everyone. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video, guys. Very important. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Guys, it's all gone quiet, innit? Where's the man, them minions about their Glasners and Ariolas and Thomas Franks? Where are they? Hey? Maybe, just maybe, their opinion doesn't mean anything because they're stupid. And that's what I said at the end of the day. The man, them minions, you know what I mean? I mean, can you imagine some people put them on their show? These men, oh my goodness me. Guys, thank you so much. Have a great day, great evening, great night, wherever you are in the world. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn, of course. And I will be back for later on, of course, guys. I'll be trying to do the match preview. But I have got watch along for Africa, for Man United today. Don't forget, Man United against Brighton and Hove Albion later on today, guys, in the FA Cup. Guys, I will be live. Keep your notifications on. And also, guys, don't forget, I've got the watch along for Napoli. Sorry, not the AFCON. Napoli against Inter Milan tonight. That's going to be a massive game, guys. It is right at the top of the league. They're literally neck and neck. And yeah, we'll be doing that later on as well today, guys. So look forward to it. You guys have a great day, and I shall see you later. Too soft for the circus. He's just been knocked out. He's just been knocked out against Macclesfield. So one of the biggest shocks in FA Cup history. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you later on for that. And take it easy. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and put notifications on. Take it easy. Peace.